Hello students, I'm Dr. Harish Seneti, maxillofacial surgeon. Today we are going to talk about something very important for your examination as well as in your clinical practice. That is xerostomia or dry mouth, and there are so many reasons for it. But what is dry mouth? What is xerostomia? Is the salivary flow. If it normal salivary flow is zero point 0.1 ml per minute, and during meals it is usually 4 to 5 ml per minute. Parasympathetic nervous stimulation is what generally lasts for long, and that is how your salivary production happens most of the time. And during parasympathetic nervous stimulation, it is good quality of saliva, that is having low protein and high amount of saliva, the liquid. Whereas during sympathetic stimulation, because salivary production happens both during parasympathetic as well as sympathetic stimulation, and if it is happening by sympathetic stimulation, that is having high protein with with very less of saliva production. So that is why you see dryness when there is a sympathetic stimulation. Sympathetic stimulation happens during stress or any emotional disturbance, or any psychological trauma leads to the sympathetic stimulation. That leads to high amount of protein production along with the saliva, and the saliva production is very very less actually. So that is how you generally have the quantity of the salivary production is also less. At the same time, the thickness of the saliva is high. So a high protein and dryness is related to sympathetic stimulation. So whenever there is a sympathetic stimulation, like during stress or emotional disturbance, you will have this kind of saliva production, and that is why it gives you that dry appearance in the mouth, right? Then how do we go about it? What are the investigations you see or investigations you do to identify this? First is history. Patient will tell you that he's unable to eat properly, things get stuck, or having lot of caries or dry mouth. Patient will tell you specifically is having dry mouth. History itself can give you a lot of information. And generally they have this burning sensation. Whenever you see dry mouth patient, the chief complaint would be burning, or whenever they are eating something spicy or something sticky, it gets stuck severely and they have to literally scrape it off. So that is how a dry mouth presentation happens. That is they are having burning sensation, they have a lot of caries, and sometimes difficulty in swallowing. So if some patient come to you like that, what are the investigations you do? Generally, reduction up to 50% of salivary flow, patient will not be able to identify. So whenever there is 50% decreased salivary flow, then the symptoms start appearing. So up till 50% body will somehow manage, but after 50% of decreased salivary flow, then the symptoms become evident, right? So what does the test you do? Xylography and scintigraphy. Not much value in xerostomia case, but generally to rule out any other salivary gland disease, you get these basic tests done, the xylography or scintigraphy. Then some blood tests, some biochemical tests, then immunological tests will give you a clear picture if there are any systemic conditions involved, right? So to know the systemic conditions, you should know what are the reasons or what are the causes for dry mouth. So what are the reasons for salivary gland diseases or salivary gland disorder is as Sjogren syndrome and sarcoidosis are two common reasons for dry mouth. Sjogren syndrome and sarcoidosis. So you should know Sjogren syndrome also. It is having rheumatoid arthritis with xerophthalmia and xerostomia, right? So Sjogren syndrome or Sitka syndrome and the sarcoidosis, right? So this is one thing. Okay, and then the anticholinergic agents, antidepressants, antipsychotic or diuretics, if they are using antihypertensives and antihistamines. Usually the reasons for salivary gland decreased saliva production is maybe a disease like Sjogren syndrome and sarcoidosis, or different types of drugs what patients use. These are the most common drugs, and I tell this again and again. Those who want to do something new in dentistry, those who want to try something new in dentistry, this will become very big complaint in the future. Xerostomia, dry mouth, because of the increased use of antipsychotic drugs these days by youngsters, by many of the so many people start using antidepressants, antipsychotic for every single depression or every single emotional drama they have. These fellows go to doctor, and doctor starts prescribing antipsychotics, or they go over the counter and take some antipsychotics, and this has become more prevalent nowadays. For every second thing, patients people are getting depressed, people are getting psychotic, so they have to be on antidepressant or antipsychotic, and that has become more common nowadays. So because of the media publicity, or because of lot of social media awareness, people think taking these medications are okay. They are not mental, they are okay to take psychotic drugs. So that is why they are using now. They are not going for counseling sessions also, they are going directly to the medical shop and getting these antipsychotics and antidepressant drugs. Of course, they are not available over the counter, but in India anything is possible. So they get medications like that and start using it. The other thing what generally cause dry mouth is diuretics, antihypertensives, most commonly used by Indian population, and antihistamines. All these can cause dry mouth, right? After that, radiotherapy and chemotherapy are one of the top reasons for dry mouth conditions. So suppose a patient is already underwent surgery for a cancer, oral cancer, and then followed by radiation, or a breast cancer and then radiation. There is a decreased salivary flow because of the death of the salivary gland, or so salivary glands get shattered by the radiations. So because of that, there may be dry mouth, right? So how do you manage this condition? So how do you manage this? How do you manage dry mouth? First is, if you know, then you have to do drug modification. So once you know the clinical history, clinical features, then once you have done your diagnostic procedures, then you've confirmed with the dry mouth, then what are the treatment modalities we have, how do you manage this condition? So first is, if you know they are using any of these drugs, drug modification is very, very important. Any anticholinergic, antidepressant, antipsychotic, diuretic, antihypertensive, antihistamines if they are using, or if they are undergoing some radiation or chemotherapy, first is drug modification, very, very important, right? So this part will be very, very vital to treat the decreased salivary flow, right? So then stimulation of salivary gland can be done by using 5 to 10 mg pilocarpine, that is 3 to 4 times per day, and 30 mg of cevimeline 3 times per day. Okay, how many days you have to give? Based on the symptoms, you have to keep giving them. They are usually well tolerated and they're good, but only thing of consideration is, if they are in severe heart disease, or if they are uncontrolled asthmatic, or if they have severe glaucoma, you should not give these drugs. Otherwise, they are good for stimulation of salivary gland to produce saliva. If suppose there is some function left out, that is some residual salivary gland is working, you can stimulate that salivary gland to produce more saliva. That is how these medicines are used. 5 to 10 mg of pilocarpine and 30 mg of cevimeline. You can use this for stimulation of the salivary gland. Suppose the gland is not fully dead, then these drugs will help. And sometimes electrostimulation. These are the chemical stimulation of the salivary gland. This electrical stimulation can also be done to stimulate the salivary gland to produce some saliva. Then the substitutes. Suppose if the function is totally lost, that is salivary gland because of some trauma, because of some tumor, something, because of some reason, if suppose because of some disease the salivary gland is totally removed, or salivary gland is not there, then in those conditions you give substitutes, right? Like carbomethyl or hydroxymethyl cellulose with the electrolytes and flavoring agents, so that will act as a artificial saliva. So there can be different reasons why salivary production is not there entirely. Suppose the gland itself is not there, that is one reason, or the gland is there but because of some pathology it is not working, or because of some radiation or chemotherapy the gland function is lost. Then you have to consider these treatment modalities. Right now, for examination purpose, I have made it into this small chart, that is xerostomia. It's also called as dry mouth. So first is history and clinical features. You will write xerostomia is a 4-mark question. So first is xerostomia, history and clinical features. Write dry mouth, burning sensation, caries and difficulty in swallowing. Then what are the diagnostic procedures like sialography, scintigraphy. You have to do minor salivary gland biopsy and salivary flow test. Right, once you do these, once you write about this, then either if it is reversible damage or irreversible damage. If it is reversible damage, you have to do drug modification or change in the medication whatever they're using. And irreversible damage, if there is residual function, give sialogogues which will stimulate the production of saliva like pilocarpine and sevmelin. Or if there doesn't have any salivary gland function left out, no residual function, you can give substitutes like carbomethyl or hydroxymethyl cellulose or paraffin wax, whatever you want to give and stimulate the substitute for the production of the saliva. Right, so hope this helps. And in case you have any doubts or you want me to further evaluate, as I told you, the substitute is carbomethyl and hydroxymethyl cellulose, and you want to stimulate, sometimes you can use paraffin wax or ask them to chew on the gums to stimulate production. But that is also very, very important. You should not give any sugary stimulants where sugar can cause increase in the caries activity. So during xerostomia there is no saliva production. Suppose you are using lot of vitamin C substitutes or sugars, that leads to sensitivity of teeth, or teeth caries can increase, tooth caries can increase. So be careful on that, and go through your subject one more time. In case you get any doubts, please put it in the comment section. This part I want you to really focus and remember it for a long time. And you can take a picture of this, and you have to write in this format in the examination, that is history, diagnostic procedures, suppose for the treatment, reversible damage, irreversible damage, how do you modify it. Okay, hope this video helps, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for patient listening. I'm Dr. Harish Theneti, maxillofacial surgeon, and all the very best